I just wrapped up my first week of The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and I can't wait to share with you everything that I have experienced and learned thus far, including why I decided to do it, how I set myself up, and what I've learned about myself thus far. So let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chantel Yvonne, and here I talk about all things books, and usually that means I'm talking about book reviews or, book lists and things of that nature. But today is a little different because I decided to bring you guys along with me on my journey through Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. I started this officially last week, so I've just wrapped up my first week, which we'll get into. Many of you all probably have seen this at least somewhere around, or maybe you know someone who's done it or attempted to do it. And if you haven't heard of it, that's okay. I'm going to kind of tell you what it's all about, but I really wanted to come on here and share with you guys my experience as I travel through this 12-week program week by week. So this is kind of going to be like a twofold. It's going to be both an introduction and a wrap up of my week one. So just to introduce The Artist's Way to you, it is a course. It's a self-paced course in discovering and recovering your creative self. And I like those two words because they're intentional for a reason. There is a discovering of who you are now, and there's also a recovering, right, of what was lost, what was harmed, what was let go. And she describes this as a spiritual path to higher creativity. This is the 30th anniversary edition, and this is the main book that you need to have. You can also see it as a set that includes a journal and a workbook, but I just have this book right here, which is the main workbook that you need to have in order to do the course. This is US $20, so it's very, affordable. You can also probably find lots of these copies in libraries, and also probably used bookstores. So lots of places that you can find this book, but you do need to have this in order to do the program. So it's divided into 12 weeks, and there are some foundational aspects that go along with this program. And before you get to the week instructions, there's 3 short chapters that really give you a solid understanding of the purpose behind it. But before the purpose, like where it came from, how this course even came to be, which was which is like many things, right? It was an idea, and then she did something with it, and then there was a good response, and then people wanted more, and eventually it became a formal thing that we get to hold in our hands right now. In addition to that, she gives you really clear, gentle instructions based on years and years of practice and hearing from lots of different types of people who have done this program on how to best work through this program. And so the main thing I wanted to read from you guys that I highlighted, that I really held dear as I sat with it, is what this course does and what she does through this course, which is, she says, I teach people to let themselves be creative. And I was really drawn to the word let, because I believe, and I know she believes, that we are all creative, but sometimes we don't give ourselves permission, space, time, encouragement, license, whatever, to be creative. And so I really focused on that word let. That little word holds a lot of power. And through this course, we're going to practice the art of creative living. And I'm a creative, and I think like, oh, I do live creatively. But just after doing this first week, there are lots of things that have shifted, and I see like, oh, I don't live a creative life in the ways in which, or to the extent that I thought I did. So that really stuck out to me as well. And then there's another quote that says, the heart of creativity is an experience of the mystical union. The heart of the mystical union is an experience of creativity. And so she does talk about God and this being a spiritual path, but you do not have to you don't have to be a Christian or adhere to her God in order to follow this program. So she also makes that clear in her introduction. So after the introductions, again, there's 3 short chapters. It then goes into each week's focus, moving from week 1 all the way into week 12. So before I talk to you about like my setup and how I prepared myself to do it, I want to just go back and kind of give you a why. I actually was gifted this book, not this exact book, because I lost my first book that I was gifted from my sister. And it was many, many years ago. I think I was a young mother. So maybe over 10 years ago, I was gifted this book. And I looked at it and I considered it and I, I didn't really know what it was. And I don't think that I had proper space in my life to really kind of take advantage of it the way in which I needed to. I did try. I think I got into like the second week and then I stopped. But I knew that it wasn't the program. I knew that it was me, and it was always something that I was interested in returning to when like life gave me more space. So that time was right now. I had a niece who did the program and really had a lot of great transformation to happen to her. And I also knew other people that had also did the course, and hearing their stories really encouraged me to do the course myself. But there was one thing that I knew that I needed to change. Well, a couple of things, but one major thing. And that was I could not do it by myself. This is a self-paced course. And there are instructions like if you want to do it with a group. And so I knew that I needed to be in community with other people for a sense of both accountability and encouragement. So this time around, I was like, okay, I need to like rally some people to do it with me, and I definitely found that. So I started, my official start day was May 1st. That was my first week. So on Friday, I wrapped up my first full week. And then leading up to that, for about 3 weeks, I was really getting myself prepared. And I think that's so important, not to just maybe rush in and do it, but really allow yourself some leeway, some prep time so you can think about, get your mind right. I need to like, okay, think about what do I need to shift so I can accommodate this? What tools do I need to have? And for me, that was beneficial. It also helped me find time to invite other people to do it with me. So there's a group of friends at my job and we're going on this journey together, and I'm so thankful for them. And then I also have met some people on Substack that are also doing it. And so we have a check-in as well. And that sense of community, of knowing that somewhere out there, there's someone else who's waking up and doing morning pages, it really is helping me to stay the course. One of the things that, as I was reading the introduction, that really struck a nerve with me, I mean, just like dead on, was the fact that shadow selves don't take themselves seriously or their creativity and their art seriously. And that's something that is definitely true for me. And so as I was approaching this, I'm like, I really want to, for these 12 weeks, to take it very seriously. So part of even doing these check-ins is another way. It's almost like another accountability layer for me to take this seriously and for me to take myself seriously. And hopefully I'm encouraging somebody out there that is listening to take yourself seriously if you are doing this or if you do it in the future. All right, so I, again, started May 1st, and I just want to talk to you about the tools that I have and kind of like the foundation of the course. So we'll start with the foundation first. Foundationally, there are a couple of things that you need to do that are like non-negotiable. One, you need to read the chapters. Don't skip the chapters and think that like you have it. They're not long, but they are super informative, and they provide you with what you are focusing on that week, and everything builds, right? So from week 1 to week 12. So read the chapters. 2, you have to do your morning pages. Now, I am a journaler. I have an ecosystem of journals, and this was the part that I struggled with the most, which was shocking because journaling is something that I just know how to do. But this type of journaling, which is more stream of conscious, first thing when you wake up in the morning, just blah, get it out on paper. It doesn't have to be coherent. It doesn't have to be around a theme. It doesn't have to be, right punctuation and stuff like that, it can make zero sense at all. Just get it out. I really struggle with that. But the morning pages, 3 pages every morning before you start your day, that is foundational, and it is known to be part of the magic. The second thing that is foundational are your artist dates. Your artist dates are intentionally planned times that you create for yourself to spend time with yourself and to do something, right? Just to spend that type of time. And you can't be with anybody else. So it's just you and yourself on a date. And you need to do them every week. So just to recap, read the short chapter, do your morning pages, and once a week, take yourself on an artist date. I really think that those are the foundations. Now, every week in the reading, there's a list of activities that you can do, and it's suggested that you try to do at least 4 of them. So these are, you can pick and choose, really try to challenge and do the ones that like you have a resist that you're resisting. Like when you read it, you're like, ugh. Those are the ones that you should probably do. But you can choose what you want to do. And so that's it. It's not a lot. It's not like you have to do this and this and this and this and this. But you do need to be consistent about the morning pages and the artist dates. All right, so I'm going to show you my tools that I use to set myself up, like things that I got. I'm going to first start with the morning pages. Because you are throwing away your pages or you're not going back and reading them again, I just got a yellow legal pad. This stays right by my bed with a pen. I do my 3 pages, I'm done. I realized that I probably maybe shouldn't have got a legal pad, maybe like a shorter pad, because this is long. This is a lot, you guys, for 3 pages, but I do it and then I'm done. I don't go back and read them. It's finished. So this is what I use for my morning pages, and it's working really well despite the big size. I think the thing that really helped me to be faithful to it this week, because I have done morning pages every day this week, is that it's right by my bed. So first thing in the morning, this eye is not even open fully. I'm doing my morning pages. And I did prep my husband to be like, hey, honey, I'm going to be up in the morning writing my morning pages. So the little light is on, and he's cool with that. Okay. So the next thing that I have in my, as part of my tool set, I got myself a journal. I bought this one during Independent Bookstore Week at JF's Bookstore, which is a Chinese English bookstore in DC in DuPont Circle. And I really love it. And so I just thought, I'm starting this in the spring. This is really nice to kind of go with this theme. And this is going to be where I keep all of my Artist Way stuff. And what I did, or what I do, and I did this the first week, and I've already set up week 2, so it was helpful. I go through the week. I go through the week. I read the activities. I write my schedule for my morning pages, my artist date, and I list the activities, and I can think about which ones I want to do, because at the end of the week, you go back and you kind of reflect upon what you were able to accomplish and how it went. So this really helped me, and I just did this ahead of time, and I set up all of my pages that I need to do. Like I set up my pages according to the activities that I thought I would want to do. And so this was a lifesaver, and it made it easier for me actually to do because I wasn't having to set it up. It's already done. So that's something I would strongly advise, to just set up your weekly pages so that you can just live them and it takes some of the pressure off. I have decided that Thursday nights are going to be the night where I read my chapter and set up my page. It takes me about an hour to do all of that. And because my new week starts on a Friday. So that's how I have kind of, organized my time. And thus far, it's going really good. I set up my second week, which I'm currently in right now. And as you can see, I haven't done these pages, but I have set them up. This activity is listing 20 things that I enjoy. And so the activities are things like that. They're not cumbersome, but they are leading you to a place. They are leading you to a place. So I would highly recommend that. At the end of my week, I go back through my week and I look at the notes from the chapter. I look at the activities. I look at what I've been able to do and how I felt doing it. And then I just have a reflective journal entry to kind of summarize the week for me. And then I move into the second week. So that process is something that I know I will continue to do as I move through the Artist Way. Okay, so how did it go? I think that's all I want to share, like foundationally. So now I'm just going to quickly shift into saying how my first week went. It's been amazing. I cannot describe fully how impacted I've been in 1 week. I think the morning pages are breaking up stuff like space in ways that I can't fully articulate right now. And the activities have been fun and probing at the same time. And it just has me thinking about myself differently. And there have been 2 things that really came to me this week. One is I don't do a good job tending to myself. I do a good job tending to others, but not tending to myself well. And so that's something that really kind of came to me as I was planning my artist date, and which I will talk to you about because that was a lot of fun. And the second one was that I have been a victim of time. And I really have said, I've been living this truth, this false truth. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough time. It's almost like this very easy scapegoat that I have for myself. And so both of those things have been challenged this week. And that's kind of what bubbled up and out of this magical process that I can't quite put my hand on because it's nothing extravagant that I'm doing, but it is something that's extravagant that's going on. And so I really loved it. This week, as I said, I completed all my morning pages. I did out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8 activities, I did 5. I did 5 of those activities. I really enjoyed them. And you guys, I took myself out on a wonderful artist date. Me and myself went to see an exhibit at the Folger Shakespeare Library in Washington, D.C. called Imaginings of Shakespeare, which are 14 beautiful canvases that have not been together and shown since 1805. And the artwork depicts different scenes from Shakespeare's plays. So that was just lovely. I had lunch. I read a little bit, journaled a little bit. I took a long walk. I stopped and smelled roses. It was just wonderful time. And I felt completely tended to, and I cannot wait for the next one. So it was really good. I'm glad that I am doing it. I'm glad that I'm taking it seriously and myself seriously. If you've done the Artist Way, let me know in the comments below. If you are thinking about doing it, I also would like to know that too, and to encourage you where you are. But thus far, so good. I will be back to tell you all about week 2. I think I'll have a little bit more time to get into the nitty gritty of like how week 2 went for me, because I'm not introducing or set up, but I'm happy to share this journey with you. And so I think I will be probably trying to share these update videos on Mondays because I will have wrapped up my week over the weekend. So that's a lot. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps this channel grow, and it helps more people find this content so that we can grow our community here in this portion of YouTube. And as always, you guys, you know what to do. Stay safe, stay sane, take good care of yourself, treat yourself to something wonderful, and as always, stay reading. Bye.